You're my first. I got this new software, Restream. I'm giving it a try. It's kind of like Zoom, and if you have the paid version of Zoom, you can go live on Facebook or YouTube. I never figured out how to go live on all of them at the same time. So I'm trying to Restream. So uh, I haven't played with it a lot, but Sandy's used it before. She doesn't use it anymore, so we'll have to talk about that later. But you've seen my friend Sandy. We are always interviewing each other. And so, what we haven't talked about is her new company. Well, it's not really new anymore, but it's Virtuplicity. And
Yes, that's right.
I'll let you talk about it, but just like to so people know, it she has a VA company, but it's not just a company where you go hire VAs. Her VAs actually train your VAs. And that's some whenever you're leveraging and you're using assistants, they should be coming up with helping you come up with systems and I mean taking things off of your plate. So this is perfect because for a busy business owner, they don't have time to train. And so that might be keeping them from hiring a VA or an assistant. And so I'll let you talk more about it. Obviously, you know more, but I want you to talk about like your courses that come with it and everything.
Well, first of all, Sarah, your hair looks phenomenal.
Was it done? I think I got it
I
done.
wanted to say that before we started. I'm like, oh my God, it always looks so perfect. I will
Uh,
never forget the first time that we met. I'm just like, she is so pretty. Like, is
okay.
she gonna be my friend? I
Oh
think she's too
man,
pretty to be my friend. Oh my God.
that was
Anyway,
planned for the live. Just so everyone knows, I didn't pay her to say that.
and every time Sarah comes on any of my shows, I tell everybody I'm breaking my rule of having anybody hotter than me be on my show.
Well, I always
Um,
have a filter on. Zoom always
oh,
like
stop.
has a step up on the restream. I haven't figured out how to apply these filters yet.
Well, so now you know it's real. What you see is what you get,
Which
folks.
is
So, um, so virtuplicity, exactly. I saw a gap in the virtual assistant business, and let's break it down for anybody who is unfamiliar with virtual assistants. It allows entrepreneurs in general to be able to scale their businesses in a way that you never thought possible. You can scale your business at a cost that I mean, really, you never thought possible. So when I first hired my very first virtual assistant, um, and I finally got the hang of leveraging out, it took me it took me a very long time to figure out how to properly leverage my virtual assistant, but once I started figuring out the systems and how to do it, I mean, the sky was the limit and we took off like a rocket, okay? Um, and once we figured out how to do that, I was like, holy shit, everybody needs this in their lives. Every entrepreneur, every small business owner needs to be leveraging out these tasks to virtual assistants, to VAs. So I'm a veteran. So when we think VA, we think like that's a fucking curse word practically, you know? And so it's like now when we're saying VAs, like I've switched my mind completely. I'm like virtual assistant world now. And so now I'm like everybody needs these in their lives. Can you imagine? Now you get to hire people and leverage out all this shit that you don't want to do and leverage out all these tasks, and it only costs you between $4 and $6 an hour. Now these other companies out there will tell you, oh, it'll cost you like between $2 and $4 an hour, but that sounds too good to be true, and it definitely is. And I'm going to teach you things like that because those things are too good to be true. those companies out there will tell you that to get you their foot in the door. They will tell you those things because those virtual assistants will leave you. You will spend a lot of time and energy, you will waste a lot of time and energy training them. You will waste a lot of time taking that energy away from your business, training them yourself. Okay. They will sell you a bill of goods, sell you a virtual assistant, like throw them at you. You won't know what the hell you're doing. And you'll be like figuring this out yourself. And you'll take all this time away from your own business, figuring this out yourself with your virtual assistant, finally get it figured out. And then this virtual assistant found a better gig and left you. Okay. This is what my company does. Okay. My company, we coach you how to do it a little bit better. Don't be greedy. All right. You can still get really, really good assistance. These people have bachelor's degrees, sometimes masters. They are not robots. They bring a lot of value and knowledge into your business, and they have helped me grow. When I hired my first virtual assistant in 2021, I spent the first 6 months fumble fucking my way through my business. Like I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But my second 6 months, psh, like a rocket, and we 3x'd my income. Okay. In 2022, we 5x'd my income. That's just 2 years of impact. I started a team and I started a whole ass other company. Imagine what you can do, Bug. Imagine what you can do if you have like a company like mine that would actually teach you what the hell to do. Or
So
how to use that as like system and assistant to actually impact your business. Go ahead, Sarah.
okay, wait.
This
I have
is just
so many
water, by
questions
the way,
I
swear to
was
God.
going to ask. So basically, first of all, did you say $6 to $8 an hour? Because I think that's really good.
4 to 6.
Because I've hired VAs before, and it was through a third party, and I'm pretty sure I paid, I mean, at least the same, but it wasn't a trained VA, and I don't even think I knew what I was doing, much less training someone else to do it. So, okay, so if somebody hires a VA, can they hire them through you?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
exactly what we do. Yes.
Okay. And then they're already trained.
Yes.
Like they can jump in your business and literally like, okay, here's what you need to do. Here's a system that you don't have.
Yes. So depending on your line of work, okay, because what we like to do is service all entrepreneurs. There are some companies out there who we're in real estate, obviously. There are some companies out there who are only, servicing real estate. I think like every entrepreneur should have this in their lives. Okay. So, I like to kind of interview, get to know the business owner, find out what they need. So I'm not going to like promise you that whatever your line of work is, this VA will come like fully trained, packaged in a nice box with a bow on top of their head. However, we like to try to get them, as fully integrated into their business as possible. Part of the way that we do that is I have a course developed on the client side, you being my client. Okay. And now this requires some work on your part. Okay. When you pull the trigger and you're like, Sandy, yes, I want to get started, you are committing to take some training as well. All right. You need to get your business set up, ready to receive this VA properly. Okay. Because that VA is being trained on their end, and you need to be able to receive this VA properly so that you guys are ready to like integrate your business and be set up for success. Does that make sense?
I love it. Because that's was probably my problem with my own VA is I didn't know how to, I mean, you have to run your business like a business.
Exactly.
Have meetings, communicate. So that is awesome. It's like the cycle of abundance. You're giving and receiving.
Yep, everything,
Go
like,
right.
because you're hiring somebody, from a foreign country. How do you pay them? How do you communicate with them? How do you monitor them? How do you make sure they're doing the shit they're supposed to be doing? How do you keep them motivated? How do you motivate them based on your business goals? So, for instance, when I say the, $4 to $6 an hour price point, I also bonus the shit out of my VAs based on my business goals. If I'm winning, my motto is for my team. So I have my real estate team, and then I have my staff. My VAs are my staff. I have staff meetings and I have team meetings. Okay. So my staff meetings are, or my staff is like, I give staff bonuses. When I'm winning, we're all winning. Okay. So like, I'll flip $100 to them here and there, and that is like a huge chunk of money for them.
Good. I love it.
And it's nothing to us when we're getting commission. You know what I mean? Like, think about it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And then they stay, that you retain these VAs and
And then what our company does is every Friday we're having what's called VA Mastermind. And so not only are we like training and offering like trainings and legitimate skill-based trainings, but on Fridays, just general trainings, we're giving them what's called a VA Mastermind, which is something of value that these virtual assistants can bring back into their client's business in order to like just make them a little bit more money, like so randomly. For instance, people will say like, Sandy, that is so cool how like you do this in your business. Like somebody complimented the other day how all of my like just solds ended up on my Google business, like on my Google map,
yeah.
all of my just solds are like pinned everywhere on my Google. Like real estate agents don't have that. Okay. If you look on my Google, you can see all of it everywhere, like on a map.
Mhm.
Okay. And I'm like, oh yeah, I wouldn't know ever how to do anything like that. One day my VA just like did it, figured it out, did it. And then I said that would be a great VA mastermind topic. Teach all the other VAs how to do that for their like employers and their business and whatever line of work. It doesn't matter because it's a cool thing. Like we've serviced everywhere around here.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. It
Yeah.
just looks
It's like
fucking
things we
awesome.
don't think about because we're so busy doing other things.
Oh yeah, like when would we ever have the time? And then it just makes you look like an amazing producer.
Yeah. I love it. Oh, all the things.
All
Um,
the shit you think you're gonna do, all the stuff you tell yourself you're gonna do. And then the thing is like I was doing like, so that first 6 months when I had hired my VA and I did not trust her to like touch anything, to do anything, there was not that rapport being built. I was so scared for her to, touch anything. And then she was like figuring out where to fit herself in, and she started like making some social media graphics for me, like, just pending, solds, and things like that. And then I'd run into people at the grocery store and they're like, wow, Sandy, you're killing it. I'm like, well, I'm really not, but I'm just doing the same amount of business I have always been. But like, it looked like I was killing it, and that's all that matters to people. And
yeah.
I started getting calls from neighbors, like, come list my house, because they would see my posts. And then that's when I started bonusing my VAs more, because I realized that all my business is tied directly to all the work that they've been doing, and
Yeah.
that they've been like they've been figuring out ways to make themselves more useful,
Yeah.
and we teach them to make themselves more useful. You don't have to like figure that out yourself. Some people are afraid to hire virtual assistants because they're like, well, I wouldn't know how to keep them busy. I wouldn't have enough work for them. That's the other thing. Don't think about hiring a virtual assistant unless you're going to hire them full time, because they are not going to be fully invested in your business on a part-time level. You need, like, just don't cheap it up. Just pay them $5 an hour, 40 hours a week, just shit the $800 a month expense. Like, you're a business owner, for God's sake. Grow up.
This is the best way you can leverage your business, I think. You have
Come
another
on.
human mind just like doing things for you. And thank
Go
goodness
spend
for,
time with your family.
yeah,
Let them do that, like MLS input and other bullshit that you don't want to be doing anyway.
yeah. I hate paperwork. So, oh, is that like, okay, so I'm an agent in Texas. And so, I mean, yeah, I think I just answered my own question. They can come in and they can fill out listing agreements for me,
Oh,
buyer
yeah.
representation agreements. I mean, they just basically have to base it off other
I
ones.
call my VA when I'm on the way from a showing, and I say, get the offer paperwork started. We're writing on blah, 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 you
Yeah.
know? And by the time I'm home, I'm just touching up a few things. They have everything ready for me. And then I do my video to my buyer explaining all the terms of the offer paperwork. I mean, because that's how fast our market moves, right?
No, yeah.
So
It,
it's almost a disservice to your buyers if you're not hiring a VA.
well, even if you're out showing, um, which I mean, this is a whole other call, like showing assistance and everything. But if you're out showing and you see a property pop up, I have this happen all the time. Property pops up, you need to try to get in, but you're also trying to finish a tour. You're trying to lock doors, open doors, look at GPS directions, all the things, leave feedback, whatever. Somebody on the other end could be trying to get you into another showing because unfortunately, not everything can be so simple since everyone uses different showing service. Some agents don't even use a showing service, whatnot. That's I had she was an agent here, and I one of the mistakes I made, and I'm just mentioning this because I think it's valuable information, is she was an amazing assistant. She was licensed. She did not like lead gen. But she wanted to sit and do computer stuff. And so it was a really good match. This was back in 2020, beginning of 2020, before we even found out about COVID. And I think I got COVID because we all tested negative for flu, everything. And I ended up letting her go because, and I mean, that was like, it took me like a month to recover. But anyway, I wish I would have coached her through some things because there were things that needed to be addressed. And I just let her go. And she was probably the best thing that ever happened to my business. So that's probably part of your training is like get in there. You business owner can coach.
Working through some things as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was like not a good leader at that point. I was just winging it, like let's whatever.
I know when business owners are being emotional, but the other thing is, I also know when business owners are hanging on too much, when they're like, I like them as a person. And I know when, because we have a 6-month replacement guarantee, and I will say, you know what? I know what's out there. And I will say this person is being straight up lazy and they're draining you. Like I will say that. Like, so sometimes I do get frustrated with the business owner and I'm like, this isn't on me. You know what I mean? I'll be like, so it's frustrating on my end because I know like the potential and I know how many VAs are like working so hard. They like desperately are like following up with me. They follow up with me personally, like, hey, like, are you looking for, are any clients of yours looking to hire and things like that, you know? And then there's somebody just draining a client, like being working half-ass and everything.
Okay.
And then they're like, but I like him as a person. And I'm like, nope, trust me, you can do better.
Yeah.
So there is the, you know, two sides. Like nobody's perfect,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You just
you
kind of
know.
have to find the right fit. There's nothing wrong with that.
But by the way, they can book showings for you. They can do all that stuff. Because
Yeah.
that's another thing I hate. When buyers, you know, like have that long string of showings, it's like so daunting to do. I just pass that off. I'm like,
Yeah.
figure it out, do it for me on the big map,
Well,
you know, in
also,
showing time.
just if I can give like a list of showing assistants or even like a company, if you could just
Hmm.
get, just find a showing agent, make sure that they're showing up to the showings, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't show a lot of properties anymore, but that's unless I really want to. Just went to
Yeah.
Boston recently. That was fun. But that was like an hour.
They, you know, so they handle everything for me. They book photos. I mean, they have documented our whole SOP, our standard operating procedure now. I They are my entire transaction coordinator
Mhm.
now on all of my transactions. It didn't start that way. You know, we had to build up to it. And that's what I coach my clients through. You know, you start and then you build the trust and then you build your systems and you know, you slowly integrate them into your business. But they're great. They
Mhm.
really are. Everything like that they don't have to physically be doing, like painting your house, you know, they can be doing. They can do bookkeeping, all that. Okay, let's say you're a business owner and you don't want to fuck with AI because you are like really scared of it and you don't understand it. Let them handle that.
Yeah.
They're like geniuses with that. You don't understand video editing or you don't have the time for it. Let them handle that. They're amazing with that.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible,
Right.
like the best thing in the world, and people are not tapping into it like they should be.
No, I totally agree. Me being one of them. There's so many things that they can do. I mean, I want to be learning new things in my new CRM and, helping
Hmm.
the agents in the brokerage do the same thing. And there's just so many things. I mean, they could be helping
The
with
stuff
all
that they teach me, like the stuff that they teach me is also
of
crazy.
them.
Like, so,
Yeah.
and then, you know, and the other thing is you run it exactly like you run your own business. So, I mean, granted, I am not the easiest boss to work for. I'm still like obviously me and my personality. So, there are other bosses who are much kinder and gentler than me. My ass sits down on Monday morning and I'm like, what are you going to do this week to make me money? You know, that is how I run my business
No, there's nothing
because,
wrong with that.
mhm.
That's
And, you
why,
know, they give presentations.
yeah. Well, I know you have a, I mean, you have a whole team of staff
Hmm.
working for you. You have a social media
Yep.
guy.
Marketing, so video editing and executive, two executive assistants and then inside sales associates. So those people do nothing but cold calling, receiving and outgoing, and they manage my CRM and everything because I have two businesses, real estate and
Yeah.
Virtuplicity.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And then so whenever I want to set up time with you, it's super easy because you have leveraged so much off your plate. I'm like, can you talk in 10 minutes? You're like, yeah.
Well, and I'm so much less stressed too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, there's so many things in my mind. There's a whole list of things I'm just not getting done on a daily basis. So, yeah. Okay, so if somebody wanted to get started, they could just get started with one.
Yes, and that's how I got started.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I would go to virtuplicity.com is the easiest way, or they can DM me on Instagram. I'm that broker girl. So I'm that broker girl everywhere, but Instagram is the one that I personally check.
Mm-hmm.
So that is like the way to get a hold of me. Virtuplicity.com is our website. If you were ready to like actually pull the trigger and get a virtual assistant, we have two methods of getting started. So, two payment plans essentially. We give an upfront lump sum discount, or we offer a payment plan for people because we didn't want like the cost of getting started to get in the way of anybody to be able to get started. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
we offer like a cut payment plan, essentially lower down payment, I guess, upfront down payment.
Is that something that's listed on your website, or do they
Yep.
just? Okay.
Yeah, and then they could like purchase it immediately
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Okay. What if somebody has somebody that they already have a VA that they love? They just need help. Like they listen to this interview and they need help doing like getting to where you're at. You have courses, right?
Yeah, I think we offer actual training and courses. And I'm not sure where we're at as far as like I'll have to look and see if those are actually launched, fully launched. So I'll see if those have actually fully launched, but I know that we have information on our website about
Mm-hmm.
that. Because I know that that's important to people who made the mistake of not hiring virtual assistants through us.
Yeah. Right.
And then we also offer memberships and different things. So, marketing plans and other things too. Lots of fun stuff. So, a ton of shit. Ton of shit. Just go to our website.
This is gold. I hope your business has taken off. I'm sure it has. Because I mean, that's like a true need in our business.
Thank you. Thank
Not
you so
just
much.
like, okay, yeah, I can go to Outbound Desk or Virtue Desk or whatever that it's called. I don't even remember where I hired my VA from, but that's you get to interview your VAs, but then it's like, okay, now what?
Well, yeah, and that's what we do is we set up a list of candidates for our our clients to
Mhm.
interview as well, and then they would select um, their virtual assistant from there, negotiate their hire. So we have that whole process as well for us.
Awesome.
Hmm. It's
Um,
about a 2 week turnaround from when they pull the trigger to when they're going to actually have their virtual assistant placed.
okay. Anything else you can think of that I didn't ask?
Gosh, I mean, of course, there's always a million things, but I think that if anybody has any questions, I'm totally an open book. So DMs are open on Instagram, and definitely feel free to reach out. So I'm a human being, and feel free to hit me up.
Yeah, I'll as soon as we get done with this, I'll go tag and put website and
Oh,
everything.
if you get a happy birthday wish, that's my virtual assistant, not me.
Well, you can't forget to do those. It's like I didn't even know it was your birthday, but Facebook told me.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap things up and end the streams. Hold on, just don't